factor crap of the day. Factor crap, guys. Should the Colts trade Anthony Richardson? Oof. That one's tough. But let's lay it all out. The Colts made waves this week by officially naming Daniel Jones their starting quarterback. And let's be real. When you hand a guy $14 million in March, you don't bring him in to be a hold a clipboard. Richardson agent Dedrick Jackson is already speaking out, calling the move disappointing, questioning the team's credibility, and hinting that his client's future in Indy may be on thin ice. Think about this timeline here. Last year, Anthony Richardson was benched for 2 games because head coach Shane Steichen said he wasn't preparing properly. They went with Joe Flacco. Yes, they did drop 2 state, and boom, Anthony Richardson's back in the lineup. That doesn't exactly scream confidence in your young quarterback. And now, after what is reportedly a strong training camp, they still had the keys to Daniel Jones? From the outside looking in, guys, it feels like the Colts were never truly sold on Anthony Richardson. His agent flat out said, trust is a big factor, and that's questionable right now. And you know what? He's not wrong. You don't invest a top 5 draft pick in your quarterback and watch him flash playmaking ability, late season game-winning drives, using that athleticism when it mattered most, and then shove him to the side without shaking the foundation of trust. But on the other hand, the Colts keep insisting Anthony Richardson has a future with the team. They say he's improved his mechanics, his accuracy, his preparation. Anthony Richardson said it himself, he's doing all the right things. He says, no hard feelings, nothing personal, I just got to keep growing. That's the mature answer, no doubt about it. And you could argue that's keeping him around, letting him learn, and waiting out Jones' 1-year deal does make sense. So guys, is it fact or crap? Do the Colts need to trade Anthony Richardson right now? Let me say this with my chest. This is a fact. The Colts need to separate themselves from Anthony Richardson as fast as they can. Let's just be honest. Colts Nation, for the shoe, is checked out. Fans don't trust him after he tapped himself out. 4th and 1 versus the Houston Texans. You get a first down, you make it to the playoffs, you tap yourself out because you're tired? Colts Nation was done with you since that day. Coaches clearly don't trust you. You get benched, you get brought back, you get benched again, you get replaced by Daniel Jones. And now the locker room doesn't trust you either. After you tap yourself out, nobody trusts you. Trust is a very fragile thing, and you broke it. Matter of fact, you shattered it into a million pieces and kicked it across the yard. They say who the team handed the starting job to is not Anthony Richardson. And once that belief is gone, it's almost impossible to rebuild it. Once that trust is gone, it's almost impossible to rebuild it. There's no question about it. Anthony Richardson has talent. He can still make plays, but he needs a fresh start somewhere else. Somewhere where the fans, coaches, and the front office already believe in him, because in Indy, that ship has sailed. So yeah, the Colts need to trade Anthony Richardson right now. That is a fact, and that is a fact, Jack. Well, let me hear your thoughts, guys. Do you think the Indianapolis Colts need to move on from Anthony Richardson? Old Man River says fact. He says that's a fact. Let me say it with my chest, because it's a fact, because he is a quitter. Old Man River, preach it to the choir, baby. Preach it to the freaking choir. You cannot tap yourself out on 4th and 1. Let's flash back to that week 15 game, whatever it was. Let's say he does not tap himself out. Let's say he's in there. Let's say he gets that first down. All of a sudden, the Colts are still driving. They score. They beat the Houston Texans. They dethrone the Houston Texans from winning the AFC South. The Colts make it to the playoffs. All of a sudden, Anthony Richardson might be a Greek god in Indianapolis. We're having a totally different conversation. Daniel Jones is not even in Indianapolis. I guarantee you that. I mean, let's take it one step further. Let's say they don't get that 4th and 1 call. Let's say they get stopped. Let's say they still lose the game. The season still loses, and they still don't make the playoffs, but Anthony Richardson played his heart out there. Daniel Jones is still not in Indianapolis. The minute he quit on his team in Houston, the minute he tapped himself out, Shane Steichen was done. The Colts Nation was done. That locker room was done. They brought Daniel Jones in there because they knew Anthony Richardson was not going to cut it. And Alpha Rob says it is a fact, but who wants him? That is a great question. That is a fantastic question. Now, Anthony Richardson is entering his third year in the NFL, right? On hindsight, he's younger than Shedeur Sanders. He's younger than Dylan Gabriel. He is younger than a handful of young quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's entering his third or fourth season. I can't remember who, like which year for sure. But when you ask the question, who wants him? You have to think of a team that is kind of in this quarterback limbo, right? A team that could be potentially going through this quarterback turnover. Miami Dolphins, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, potentially the Minnesota Vikings. Who knows what J.J. McCarthy is going to do? Other teams out there that are kind of in this weird quarterback limbo. Seattle Seahawks, Las Vegas Raiders. There are teams, the New York Giants, maybe not the Giants, but the Jets. There are teams out there that are kind of in this weird quarterback limbo, right? I think anywhere that he goes, whether it's Miami, whether it's Carolina, whether it's Jacksonville, I think those are my top 3 destinations for him because he just kind of fits that mold perfectly, fits in what they want to do. I think Trevor Lawrence should be on the hot seat. I think Bryce Young is probably done after this season if he doesn't turn the corner. And Tua, we don't know what he's going to do year in and like year out. But he goes to those 3 teams that don't expect a whole lot of anything out of him, right? He overperforms a $5 million contract, $4 million contract, whatever he might get. Bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, he's a nice average quarterback. A nice Geno Smith redemption story. So who wants him? I would say Carolina, Jacksonville, or Miami makes the most sense, in my opinion. And Old Man River says winners want the ball. Yeah. Winners want the ball. Winners want the ball. And oh, by the way, winners want the ball. Give me the ball, right? Let's say Wizard of Oz is real. Wizard of Oz was real, man. I'm from Kansas. Wizard of Oz is real. I lived right next to the Wizard of Oz house for 6 years. 5 years, whatever it was. I lived it. I done it. I done it, boy.